Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Womansplain, the podcast where we break down consumer trends, startups, and everything shaping the industries we love. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Sola, and today we're diving into one of the most dynamic industries, beauty. And since we are entering 2025 or have entered 2025, we wanted to look at different trends that would really shape up the year in the beauty industry, whether, it's fragrance layering, Korean beauty, which I love talking about and would love to talk more about in the episode, or, the rise of the glam makeup. We've got it, all covered.
Honestly, I have been personally dying with this episode because A, I copy all of your trends to bring back from Korea / steal all of your skincare, and B, you look fantastic. So I feel like I just need this for my own tea, honestly.
Yes.
Like I need it for just honestly for my skin.
Yes.
Continuing. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I am happy to talk more about it. So I guess we can just dive right into Korean beauty.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes, obviously. So I just came back from Korea. That is where I'm from. And obviously really interested in beauty and skincare. I never had the best skin growing up. I have a lot of acne scars. And so that's something that I was really interested in terms of finding a solution for myself and other people. One thing that I want to talk about that is a new trend that we spoke a little bit about there's a new trend called PDRN, and I'm going to butcher the science name. I wrote it down. It's polydeoxyribonucleotide.
Oh my God. Okay. That sounds like, are you injecting pesticides into your face?
Yes.
So does not sound trustworthy. That's all I'm going to say. This sounds fucking sketch, Sola.
Okay. Yes, it is. It might be. But it's been around in Korea for a few years.
Okay.
And I swear by it. I've gotten
your skin looks really good.
Thank you.
So, hey.
I've gotten it a few times now. First time last year and then another time this year. It's basically salmon DNA. So they describe it as salmon, sperm, salmon DNA.
So it's basically stem cells. It's basically stem cells from
exactly.
salmon. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So they inject it in your skin, and it could be through shots, or it can also be topical, which is growing in popularity.
Cool.
And so it helps with rejuvenations, reproduction, helps with acne scars, just everything, makes you glow and have dewy skin. And so I know that this is starting to become popular outside of Korea. So I think that this is going to be a huge trend in 2025.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything women won't inject in their face, honestly, to look younger. It's honestly freaking me out. But honestly, that I would say it's at least a lot more natural than probably Botox.
Yes.
Botox is so bad for you.
Yes.
Honestly, and there are really dangerous side effects, especially over a long period of time. I also worry about the trend of getting Botox so young and how that has become such a push of preventative Botox, et cetera, et cetera. And I've had a lot of conversations with dermatologists and things about this, and it's actually extremely unproven. Also, even the preventative Botox can effectively train your muscles to not cause deeper wrinkles. Also can train your muscles in the wrong way and cause wrinkles in just the wrong places in your face that you actually can't fix. And over a long period of time can just really look bizarre. And it's also just subjecting a toxin into your face.
Yes.
Increases just a lot of risk around cancer and autoimmune disease. So at least, I don't know what the side effects of salmon DNA in your face are, but it sounds significantly more natural.
Yes.
Probably a lot less toxic. And the fact that it is not a paralytic, but instead effectively a regenerative medicine seems, probably a lot more promising, a lot more long-term.
Yeah, it's definitely 100% natural. Yeah. It's basically just collagen. It's collagen, vitamins that you take, but directly into your skin. And so I don't really see negative side effects. I'll definitely let you guys know. The only thing is it hurts like hell. But beauty is pain.
Beauty is pain.
And I've never gotten Botox, but I think it's probably the same level of pain.
Yeah, it's needles in your face.
Yes.
It's not gonna feel good.
Exactly.
Right? And trust me, I've done lots of things that have hurt my body. Lasering hurts like a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I don't even
Being
know. I swear to God, I'm gonna do that in
hard.
Guantanamo. I think we should literally laser people in Guantanamo for sure. I think it needs to be a new form of torture. It hurts so bad.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I think back to it, I have literal PTSD.
Yeah.
Okay, so salmon DNA, great.
Yes.
I totally agree. It sounds like it's gonna usually it seems like things kind of come out of Korea. I know so many trends that have come out of it.
Yeah.
Even the history of eyelash extensions are from Korea.
Exactly.
So, and I'm my number one fan of that.
Yes.
So I feel like it usually starts there and travels to the US.
All the good things. I know that I think last year, Korea exported over like $10 billion worth of Korean beauty products to the U.S. We've surpassed it being the country that I guess Americans shop the most for beauty products. And normally it's been France, I think.
Interesting.
Until a few years ago.
Wow.
And when I was there, there's been a lot of different pop-ups in Seoul that I think will also happen in New York and other metropolitan cities in the States. But there's a lot of AI within K-Beauty now, and a big conglomerate, which is there's one in Korea called Amore Pacific, and that owns Laneige, which is obviously very well known, Solwasu, Glow Recipe, like all of these big brands. And so it was really cool because I went and they took a photo of me and then did some like AI thing and then found my exact shade.
Wow.
And then also made a cleanser for me using all the chemicals that would, benefit my skin. I have pretty oily skin. And so I did a questionnaire and it took maybe like 2 minutes.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool. So I think that's also another trend that, just looking at tech and science behind the beauty industry, that's something that I think a lot of different American-based companies will start utilizing too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I've seen the beginnings of this for sure. Like with like Il Maquillage is one. I feel like they have, I don't know if they use AI, but they have like a pretty like detailed like quiz and like analysis. They can get you a perfect shade via e-commerce. I mean, that's obviously like the biggest upside of this, right? Is that you don't have to go in to like find like the right shade, especially if like as makeup has really moved out of the stores and onto obviously online shopping and e-commerce driven. I feel like that's obviously great. And I am sure we will see this continue to pop up in American beauty, and I'm sure we'll also see American beauty brands, I feel like, honestly investing in Korean or acquiring Korean brands as well. I definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I think there's been like over 10 take privates in the K beauty space. I know like Morgan Stanley's private equity arm did one recently. Wow. So lots of PE money here as well.
Wow. Well, good to know. I feel like I honestly love to see that. Like, honestly, I feel like the Korean beauty industry has also done a lot for just like, honestly, like globalization of Korea as well, and like general like acceptance too, like in the United States, and appreciation. A lot of just like, honestly, a huge influence of general Korean culture, I think, has come along with it. Like, I mean, from like K-pop and even Korean dramas are like now on Netflix and relatively popular. Yeah. I love to see it.
Yeah, of course. I'm biased, but I think, so many great products, lots of trends in 2024, like the color matching on TikTok that people were really doing.
Oh, yeah.
That is originally from Korea.
Really?
I'm sure a lot of different trends related to not just beauty products, but, trends like that in terms of how to make women feel the best and look the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And Korean women are always looking fine. So like, hey, and like always aging beautifully. So I can certainly take a page from their book. I also have seen too a huge trend from Asia and Korea as well as like live shopping. And I think that's also going to really kind of come across to the United States as well. I think it's kind of like the next frontier for online shopping for the US. It's not really touched us yet, mostly because it's really like a TikTok trend. We're slower on kind of picking that up.
Yeah.
But live shopping is a huge trend right now in like China and Korea and Japan. Like influencers effectively will like try on 50 outfits in 50 seconds, etc. And they're able to do it, and they'll literally like make millions of dollars. So I think that's gonna be like the next trend in the US.
It's actually huge. Like whenever I go home, my mom's literally watching on TV and buying things, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like we reverted, from
we were literally recruited from like QVC, like literally. But it's like, I guess it's like sexier and like funnier, like whatever they're trying and on like all whatever. But it's like a game too. It's impressive to see it. I will say it is like a skill set. I've watched a few and I'm like, damn, like these girls are like really putting it down to a science right now of how they could possibly try on 50 outfits in 50 seconds, and it's kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean it's so convenient too. Like if you don't like it, you can return it like within an hour. Like it's 100%. fast.
Exactly. And are often like really similar options too. Like they'll show like a dress in like 7 colors and like call it whatever. But it is like deeply entertaining, honestly. But and so I think that's gonna take over the US next.
Yeah. So many trends.
So many trends. I know. And speaking of, I guess, other K-beauty trends, I guess it's like there are also kind of specific Korean beauty sort of type of trends, from like milky toners is one, versus I guess more American type toners are honestly harsher. I think like American skincare is harsher, honestly, in general. It's definitely like antibacterial, typically exfoliating. I think there's also been like a trend sort of away from really like harsh skincares as well, like going into the soft life and what that means. So I think we'll see that too.
And like with the rise of clean girl aesthetic, makeup that doesn't look like makeup, I think that's why Korean beauty has really come on top. A lot of the products are, as you said, not very harsh, and it really is minimal. So I think that's going to continue on. And of course, people are lazy. Like I love a good 10-step skincare routine, and my mom loves when I do all that. But I mean, it's a lot. So people like having everything in one type of solution, like the milky moisturizer that you mentioned.
100%. It's also just like obviously causes less skin reactions. It's like less risky, and it can appeal to a much larger audience. I think there was also kind of a trend in skincare that was pretty like tailored products. I think we saw this in like a lot of American beauty brands who were creating like, you know, like The Ordinary and kind of unlike Drunk Out, like what is like the specific, you know, product for your skin type, and had like a lot of options within that. But I think there's probably more of a trend going toward kind of a type of product that can appeal to a variety of skin types, which, you know, is I think Korean as well, just like less harsh, more flexible, and definitely can kind of give people, I don't know, maybe a slower but like more gradual result as well. Which is great. And I think even though there has been like a lot of obviously clean girl aesthetic, I feel like this year has been like honestly like brat girl summer versus like clean girl fall. And I think we're like really seeing both. Like we are back, like 100%. Like honestly, like 2016 is like fucking back. I don't even know. Like with the mob life trend and everything. But at the same time, like I think clean girls still kind of rule. What do you think?
I mean, speaking of, I feel like the glam is back.
The glam is back too.
I mean, we've seen different trends in makeup with, you know, sparkles all over our faces. Euphoria, I think, did that really well. For sure. Sabrina Carpenter is the queen of sparkles.
100%.
Her eyeliner,
she's like honestly
eyeshadow.
Like Marilyn Monroe pinup girl. Honestly, she's bringing it back, and like Taylor Swift too. Honestly, 100%.
So definitely back. I think like Glam Squad is back. I've seen a lot more influencers kind of use them and promote them. So I do think like clean girl aesthetic had its moments, but maybe glam is back.
I know. I think like there's times for both. Because I feel like I went from brat girl summer. We had clean girl fall. Like I feel like we're just like really.
What's next?
I don't know. We had like mob wife aesthetic. I think we're just like flipping between. I think you can really do either, but I feel like the natural makeup look does still rule. I feel like that's like honestly like the sort of like when you really think about beauty influencers, like you think about like Hailey Bieber. I do personally, or like you think, I don't know. I feel like they're more like they are still like very natural. And like the point of glam look is honestly more of like a costume versus like a day-to-day. And obviously in general, I just think like life has become so much more casual and natural with like work from home and everything. So it's good to see.
I do wonder if Urban Decay's eyeshadow palette that I still have, I have every single number.
I mean, Naked was fire, man. Naked was great shit. Like I had some great shit with Urban Decay.
I wore like the smoky palette every single day in college. Like I was thinking about it, I'm like, how did I do that? Every single day in class I was wearing like Naked smoky.
Oh my god, I had no idea I doing makeup. I swear to god, I feel like honestly we were just not given good tools. Like we were given some bad makeup trends as well. There were some bad ones. Like honestly, like Y2K, like in the aughts, like we were in a rough life. Like I don't even know, but like those were just some dark times of makeup and like honestly fashion. Like I don't really know.
I agree. And I think that's because we didn't have TikTok. Like we had Instagram, but we didn't look at but like Instagram other was influencers.
Different. Instagram was super different. Influencers were like not a thing.
Right.
Instagram was just basically an extension of Facebook, which was like there were photos of your friends.
Right.
But like it was slightly more aesthetic. That's literally all it was.
I don't even think there was a Discover page for a long time.
No, there wasn't. And like stories were like a big thing when they came out. I was like a junior or senior in college. I remember when like stories were like a huge deal. They like changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also like shopping on Instagram was like not a thing. Yeah. Either like L2K or whatever, like to shop or whatever was like a big deal. And Instagram shop was like a big deal coming out. Now it's obviously ads like every single thing.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see the evolution. I always wonder if it's going to like kind of be kicked back and we'll have like a separate like advertising app or something like that. But
yeah, I mean, now with TikTok potentially being banned.
I know.
I mean, I think that's going to be such a big change. I don't know exactly like what's going to happen on I think the 19th, but
there'll be a way to get around it.
Yeah.
I think people will just figure a way to get around it.
Yeah.
Like either they'll pirate it in some unknown way.
Oh my gosh.
Or like TikTok will just make like a different version.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or like be on Instagram, I guess.
Be on Instagram. Yeah, 100%. Like it'll definitely just still be accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like honestly. But anyway, we will see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see next time we record.
Next time we record, I don't know. TikTok might be fucking illegal. I have no idea. Before we even take off, Sola, like what is going on? Like we have to start live shopping today. We have to start training.
Yeah,
we have to start live shopping training right now. Literally. Honestly, those women are athletes. I am impressed by those women. Okay, like it is crazy. It is wild.
So funny.
Okay, yeah. And then I guess speaking of lastly, it's really I guess around just sort of talking about self-care is really like men's self-care and how that's really becoming acceptable. Actually, this has been such a huge evolution in my lifetime. I feel like it honestly started like literally men weren't even allowed to like literally use face wash. Like it was a shameful thing if they like used face wash to like prevent their acne. To know it's like a source of pride that your girlfriend like made you have a 5-step skincare routine. It's like honestly insane. Like I don't even understand.
Yeah. Or like if a man has like Aesop in their home, or like it's like honestly kind of normal now.
100%. It's also like literally a green flag. If you meet a guy and he's like, oh yes, I literally have a 5-step skincare routine. You're like, this is fantastic.
It's like what you don't use.
You're like, you're a catch. Like what is going on? Like wow.
I think it's huge and definitely is the market that is growing and can grow. And like I don't know too many startups in that space yet.
I know. I mean, like Dollar Shave Club was like the first one.
Yes,
and like even like Tanner still uses it. It's honestly like I will say it is quite convenient. It's pretty high quality and it's really cheap.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it does hit like the men's market, right? Where it's like men are just so price sensitive. Like they're so much more price sensitive than women will ever be. And I feel like they do prioritize convenience over everything. And men are also way more loyal than women in terms of brand loyalty. Like you've seen studies where just like men are just so loyal to brands in both clothing and like shaving or whatever, or deodorant, etc. So it's like I think there actually is a lot of room to take the loyalty from like these emerging Gen Z men, honestly, who are like growing up in a time where they are like encouraged to have beauty routines. And I think it's also a completely new market where, beauty used to just be 100% women. It's still always going to be dominated by women, like 100%. Like it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that will be run by and controlled by women. But I think there is a completely new market of like men that have not spent any money. That are now willing to invest in themselves. So I think that'll be super interesting. And I think we've also even seen it in like fashion where there has been so much like androgynous clothing and trends for women too, like women wearing menswear and blazers and oversized clothes and like the disruption of the skinny jean. I feel like it's all of like kind of this merging of like gender fluidity and openness.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think there's a lot of, I guess, incumbent players in the men's grooming space. Like, I guess Hims is like a hair loss. It started out with hair loss, but now
worst commercials I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen their oh my God, they're so
bad.
They need to be redone. Like they literally pains me. They need to change.
Oh my God.
Like it's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
A man
like the ED
it.
and and the fucking mat. It's just so bad. It just needs to be. I'm sorry. Like Hims marketing person, if you're listening to this, like please change your commercials. Like they are horrible.
It's so bad.
They are horrible. Like just they're so bad. They come on Hulu and I honestly want to die. I want to die. Like it's
versus hers. I think it has good.
Hers is a lot better. Hers is a lot more subtle. That's why. That's why. I feel like they're like men are like no men don't really want to hear that. Like I promise you, like I don't want to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, but Hims is like definitely a traditional one. Exactly. Old Spice, I feel like big one. Like honestly, been like loyalty of like all men probably is like literally otherwise. I also think obviously there's a huge trend too of like hair regeneration. That's also like within, I feel like came from like Korea too. But like hair regenerative and hair regeneration is like a huge trend now, and I think super common. Like Rogaine was obviously like the first player in that space. Now it's like definitely like, I think it's a really common procedure.
Yeah, and I think that's going to, they're going to expand into skincare.
Definitely.
Like women's hair products can also expand to men's. Like I love Vegamore. I use that all the time. Has, biotin and collagen, etc. I think it's not just for women, but I can see a company like that expanding into, just men.
Yeah.
Or, like focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think Wellbell even has like a product for men specifically tailored. I have no idea what possibly like, different ingredients they have. I feel like it's just like literally different like bottle, but it's like literally the same. Yeah.
Biotin.
Like extra biotin. Like I have no idea.
Yeah.
And also there is also an increase, actually a really high percentage of men over 50 take testosterone, which I knew from when I was like looking at a company that and like kind of managed that. Because men's testosterone levels do drop kind of after 50. So that's also like just general interest in like men's wellness and like life kind of expansion is also even like a generally new trend. I think like probably the gap of like the age and life expectancy of men and women will probably close as men continue to kind of focus on life expansion and expectancy as well. So there you have kind of the top beauty trends to watch in 2025. I think obviously lots of new beautiful skincare products and procedures coming out of like Korea and Asia in general. Obviously men's grooming, and continue to kind of have like the clean girl aesthetic versus glam.
Yeah, well, thank you for listening. As always, if you have any suggestions on what topics we should cover, please email us at womansplain.pod1@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at womansplainpod.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
for listening.